Everyone in the cemetery that morning remembered seeing the Navy Admiral kneel at her daughter's grave, but no one expected what happened next, because just a few feet away, hidden behind the white marble headstone, a janitor in an old uniform was crying so hard he couldn't speak, and beside him, a 7-year-old girl kept whispering, "Daddy, she's the hero who saved us, right?" The moment the Admiral heard those words, she froze, not because she recognized the men, but because she realized the universe had just brought her face to face with the very person connected to the last decision her daughter ever made, and that decision changed all of their lives. Admiral Evelyn Ford had visited her daughter's grave every month for 3 years. Rain, heat, storms, nothing ever stopped her. Her daughter, Lieutenant Sarah Ford, had been a rescue helicopter pilot, the kind driven by instinct, courage, and a stubborn need to save anyone she could. Evelyn never forgot the proud look on Sarah's face the day she took her oath, and she never forgot the morning 2 officers came to her door, hats low, eyes full of grief. But today felt different. The sky was clearer, the air calmer, as if the world itself wanted her to finally breathe again. Evelyn carried fresh white lilies in one hand, the same flowers Sarah loved as a child. She reached the grave gently, brushing away a few fallen leaves, ready to whisper the words she rehearsed every month, "I'm still trying to be strong, baby." But her voice stopped when she heard soft crying, not hers, not someone visiting a nearby grave. This was close, too close. She stepped forward, her instincts sharp. And there, behind the gravestone to her left, knelt a man in a faded janitor uniform from the naval base nearby. His shoulders shook with heavy sobs he kept trying to hold back. In his arms, a little girl hugged him tightly, pressing her small head into his chest as if trying to hold him together. Evelyn didn't want to intrude, but grief recognizes grief. It calls to it like a quiet echo. So she cleared her throat and gently said, "Is everything all right?" The man startled, quickly wiping his eyes as if he had no right to cry in front of an admiral. His uniform patch read J. Harper. I'm sorry, ma'am," he said, voice trembling. "We shouldn't be here." "We didn't mean to disturb." "You're not disturbing anything," Evelyn replied softly. "Cemeteries belong to those who hurt." The man swallowed. His daughter, a tiny girl with brown curls and warm, curious eyes, looked up at Evelyn without fear. "Daddy said the brave pilot who saved us sleeps here," she whispered. Evelyn's heartbeat stopped. "Us saved?" Her daughter saved them. She looked at the men, at his shaking hands, at the guilt buried deep inside his face. She suddenly felt the rare sensation of being unprepared. "What do you mean she saved you?" Evelyn asked quietly. The man lowered his head. "I've been meaning to say this for a long time, but I never had the courage to come." His daughter squeezed his hand. "Tell her, Daddy." He looked up, eyes wet but determined. "Admiral, your daughter died saving us." Lightning wouldn't have hit as hard. Before Evelyn could speak, a memory flashed, a classified report she was never allowed to fully read, a mission shelved, details left vague. She had always suspected there was more to Sarah's death. Now, suddenly, the truth was standing in front of her. "Please," Evelyn said, voice softer than she ever used in uniform. "Tell me everything." And so the story began. Jacob Harper never imagined he would ever speak to an admiral. He was just a single father working maintenance, trying to stay invisible. But the weight of his memories, and the promise he made in a helicopter filled with smoke, forced him to finally face the woman whose daughter changed his life. "It happened 3 years ago," Jacob said, staring at Sarah's name on the stone. "My wife, she passed away from an illness. I was barely holding things together. My daughter Emily was only 4. I was trying to drive her to safety during that storm." His voice cracked. "But the bridge collapsed. Our car slid off the road. We were trapped." The little girl nodded quietly, remembering even at her young age. "I was scared," she whispered. "Daddy kept saying it would be okay, but the water was coming fast." Jacob closed his eyes, reliving it. The river was rising, and the car was sinking. "I radioed for help, but they said units were overwhelmed." Then suddenly, he inhaled sharply. A chopper appeared out of the clouds. Evelyn felt her chest tightening. Sarah, her daughter, flying through a storm that grounded everyone. She landed that helicopter like she didn't care about her own safety. Jacob continued. "Broke protocol, risked everything. She pulled us out herself. I begged her to get back to the aircraft, but she refused until she was sure Emily was safe. Emily looked at the Admiral. She gave me her jacket because I was cold." Evelyn pressed a hand against her heart. Jacob's voice lowered, but on the way back, the storm got worse. Something hit the helicopter. They lost control. Sarah fought to keep it steady. She managed to land us hard, but alive. Tears streamed down his face. The last thing she said was, "Make sure the little one grows up safe, okay? Tell my mom I did my best." Evelyn's legs almost gave out. She stayed behind to make sure the fire didn't spread, Jacob whispered. And I carried Emily and ran for help. When I looked back, his voice broke completely. I saw the explosion. Silence wrapped around them, heavy, raw, sacred. Emily reached for Evelyn's hand with her tiny fingers. "I'm sorry she's not here anymore. But she's my hero." Evelyn knelt so she was eye level with the child. "She was mine too." Jacob wiped his eyes again. "I've tried coming here before, but I felt unworthy. I'm just a janitor. I didn't think someone like you would want to hear from someone like me." Evelyn shook her head. "Stronger now, heroes don't care about ranks," she said. "And my daughter gave her life for yours. The least I can do is know the people she saved." Jacob let out a breath he'd been holding for years. Emily hugged the Admiral softly, as if she knew the Admiral needed it more than anyone, and when Evelyn finally stood, she understood something for the first time. Her daughter's legacy wasn't just in medals, reports, and folded flags. It was standing right in front of her, a father who never forgot, and a little girl who lived because Sarah chose courage over safety. And this meeting was only the beginning of what destiny had planned.